You've seen me review these types of phone controllers on my channel before, and this one specifically is very awesome. It really is. But why? Well, this has a 1000 Hz polling rate, so that means when you're playing, your controller is going to have a very fast response, in comparison to something like an Xbox controller, which is stuck at only 124 Hz. So for competitive gaming, this is going to outperform that. Something else I really like about these, you can switch between linear triggers or rapid triggers. The back buttons are also mappable, but I'll show you how to use all those features later in this video. And something that might help you out, Zike sent me their version of this controller for review, and they obviously know what they're doing because they picked a good one. But I was pretty surprised that they were willing to give you guys a whopping 20% off by using my discount code BATPIXEL. I usually get like 10% off, 15% off of my discount codes, but 20%? Take advantage of that. I just want to mention that I was creeping around on their website, and I noticed that they have an environmental initiative, and to date they've planted over 4,000 trees. Good job, Zike. So I'll show you the hardware features, then we can jump into some gameplay. The joysticks are Hall effect joysticks, so you don't have to worry about drift, and yes, they do click. The D-pad and the buttons have mechanical switches, so they have that responsive mouse click feel. I've said it before, this style of phone controller is extremely comfortable, and it's very lightweight. It's only 192 grams. This also works with PC and iPad, so all you need is a USB-C cable with a female plug, and then you can use this as a wired controller. What I like about Zike's version is they have it color matched to the Xbox controller, and it also kind of matches my Asus ROG Ally, so I have kind of a theme going here. I mentioned that the controller is like an Xbox controller with the button layout, but if you like Nintendo's button layout, which is a bit different, you can change that on this device. Hold down on the function button and then click and hold your right joystick, and that'll switch your button layout to Nintendo's. On the bottom, you've got a charge port so you can charge your phone while you're playing. This is not for data transfer. And the vibration motors in it have dynamic haptic feedback, so it'll react to your gameplay. It has 6 different vibration levels. Hold down on the function key and then hit up and down on the right joystick to change that. This will go to sleep if you're not using it after 10 minutes, but if you want to go into sleep mode, all you have to do is hold down the home button for 6 seconds, and you can wake it back up by hitting one of the buttons. The space in between here is 102 millimeters, but it does open up to 176 millimeters. Basically how this works is you plug this into USB-C, then you just open this up and you put your phone in and you're ready to play. You can see when my phone's plugged in, there's space there for my cameras. You'll notice when you're plugged in, this light over here will change different colors. Right now it's yellow. If I open this up, you can see that there's different modes here. Basically, yellow is for Android. There's an Xbox mode, a virtual touch mode for touchscreen games, and then the green mode is for iPhone 15 and above. But iPhone will have limited features, such as they won't be able to use the touchscreen option. If you're seriously considering one of these, you need to download the MooWii gaming app. It just makes everything so much easier. Just make sure you install the latest version of MooWii gaming. At the time of this video, the latest version came out in January, and it's version 2.5.8. When I open this up, it'll ask, do you want it to connect to the gamepad Z331? I'll just say okay. And now I can set up these different modes really easily. Go into my game mode, and you can see I'm connected to Android mode like I mentioned before, but you can select Xbox mode on here for streaming. You can select this for iPhones, and they do have Bluetooth mode. That just means that it'll use Bluetooth as a backup connection. You still have to be connected. It's not wireless. When you switch modes for the first time, it might ask you to map buttons, but I can tell when I hit my buttons they're all working fine, so I'm just going to say save and exit. But let's jump into the touchscreen mode on PUBG because it's very cool how this works. I'll just hit confirm and you'll notice that my light changed to blue. PUBG is a touchscreen game, so I can look around like that, I can fire my gun, I can move around with my thumb. So it's a lot more natural feeling this way, actually using a controller. The way this works is the MooWii gaming app is over here, so if I touch that, you'll have a little menu that'll come out. And if I hit select, you can see I have a configuration set up for this game. So when you set up a new configuration, go into change, and you can change your buttons however you want. All these purple buttons are all my controller buttons. So I dragged my A button over here where jump is, I used my right trigger for shoot, and I got my left joystick set up for run around. When I press A to jump now, you can see right here on the screen it'll light up. That's because it's detecting on the screen which button I'm hitting. So it makes touchscreen games way more easier to play. And it's very easy to switch out the rapid triggers. Hold down the function button and then click the trigger that you want to switch out. So if you're playing a racing game, you might want a linear trigger where you can just slowly press down depending on how much acceleration you want. But if you're playing something like Call of Duty and you want your gun to respond really quickly when you're shooting, you can change this to a rapid trigger so it just shoots really quickly. I'm going to show you how to map these buttons now, so I'm going to switch over to HID mode, which is perfect for Android. Usually when you're playing GoldenEye and you want to shoot, you just hit the right trigger to shoot. But if I want to set that up as my back button, all I have to do is hold the function button and this back button to go into a recording mode. You'll see the light's pink here, so just shoot and then hit the back button. And you see that light just blinked, so that means it's set up. So now when I hit this back button, I can shoot. But if I wanted to do a sequence, let's hold the function button again and then the back button, and you'll see that this light will go pink, and then I'll shoot, reload my gun, shoot, reload my gun, and then hit the back button to set it. So now that sequence that I set up will work. If I just hit that back button one time, I'll shoot, reload my gun, shoot, reload my gun. So to clear this out, all we have to do is hold the function button and the back button again, and when this goes pink, just tap this and it'll clear. Now it's not set up for anything. Your home button here is also your turbo button. If I just hold my shoot button, my gun fires kind of slowly. Hi, scientist. I mean, if you gotta go, you gotta go, man. Anyways, we're just gonna shut the door here. Okay, hold the home button and then press shoot, and now it's set up to be a lot faster. So if I hold shoot now, you can see my gun is really fast when it's shooting. You can also speed your turbo up or slow it down by holding the turbo button and then hitting left and right on your D-pad. One question that people ask me is, can you bring up the Xbox menu with any of these buttons? And the answer is yes. If you hit the home button, you can bring up the Xbox menu like this. And whatever you do, don't forget to take advantage of 20% off. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.